Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. We are going to reflect on verse number 60 for today. We are in chapter 18, verse 60. Thought flow wise, it's been a beautiful. Bhagwan is concluding his teachings. He's summarizing his message for all of us, right? So we said in up to verse 56, Bhagwan has come in and said, okay, so how should we act? We should ever be engaged in our duties, and our duties come from our own swadharma, and we do it with a karma yoga attitude, keeping Lord as the ultimate goal, with our mind, heart filled with love and immersed in Bhagwan. We have to act. And a seeker who acts like this attains the highest goal. This was up to verse number 56. And then verse number 57 onwards, there's a slight shift. So far, Bhagwan has spoken in third person. One who does this, one who performs like this, will attain this. In verse 57, Bhagwan goes to Bhava, second person. You do, you be like this. So he's talking directly to us. Time to pay more attention, right? So in 57 and 58, he recaps the message personally for Arjuna, personally for every one of us. O Arjuna, O Saumya, O all of us put in our names. And he says, keeping me as the highest goal, to seek performing all our actions with the clarity of mind that this is my goal, and this is why I'm performing this action. With that clarity, perform the actions as an offering unto me, with your heart filled with love for me. And then his promise, Sarva Durgani, all the difficulties, even the most unsurmountable difficulties, by my grace, you will cross over. So Bhagavan has given us the most compassionate Lord has given us his personal promise. If we do our bit like this, we will be able to reach. We'll be able to overcome our difficulties. What difficulties? Not everyday small difficulties, parenting challenges, promotion challenges, health challenges. No, no, no. Even the most unsurmountable difficulty of this veil of ignorance that we are carrying, by His grace, His promise, we will be able to cross over. And then a stern warning by Bhagwan, right? Atachetvam If by some deluded ego, if you choose, O Arjuna, O Saumya, if you choose to not follow my directions, you will perish. Perish? No, he's not saying this out of malice. The ever compassionate Lord again tells us, if we don't act like this, we will not be able to achieve our goal, because there is no other way to do this. So he says, act, pick the right actions, do your duty in accordance to your swadharma, and act with the right attitude, and this will get you there. Verse 59, he says, even if you choose to not act, this is not possible. Really? I am my own master. I can do what I want. No, not really. Your nature will impel you. And that's where we move on to verse number 60, today's verse. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyasya vashopi tat. Beautiful. I say beautiful because I understand it. There are some verses I don't fully get, and then it's not so beautiful. When I actually feel it and get it, that's when I say beautiful. This one I totally get. So here, Bhagwan says, we're all bound by our nature. And he said this before too, in chapter 3, chapter 4. We're bound by our nature. What is this nature? It is made of these gunas, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And we have a particular combination that makes up our personality. This nature of ours forces us, impels us to do what we're doing. Let's take a practical example and then we'll break down the words of this verse. Um, let's think of a situation that happens in the everyday world, right? Let's say there's somebody hurt and on the side of the road who needs help. Somebody's hurt by an accident or something. A sattvic person, full of compassion, right? If the nature is predominantly sattvic, out of love, out of compassion, person goes, helps, does his best, not so much agitation. A Rajasic person may also stop to help, a Rajasic person like Arjuna, but then there is that force, that, charge. This is wrong. This is unjust. We must fix this. That force comes in, right? Because in a Rajasic person, this sense of protection, this sense of right and wrong is very strong. In a Sattvic person, this I sense has gone down a lot. How can I help? How can I serve? In this Bhagwan's world, how can I do my bit? So that's how a Sattvic person reacts. And a Tamasic person keeps walking, doesn't even turn around and look at that situation, right? This is how our gunas, our SRT combinations, SRT, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas combination impels us. And here Bhagwan said, this is inherent to us. We were born with it. How were we born with it? Our past karmas created our present swabhava. Whatever combination we have today, it is because of our own present past karmas. And what does the swabhava do? It presents a sense of duty to us in a certain circumstance. Just like I said, for that tamasic person in that situation, it didn't present any sense of duty. But for the sattvic person, for the rajasic person, it evoked an action in him. It presented a sense of duty, something I need to do in this situation for him. So, thus, we are bound by our own swabhava. Our nature creates these thoughts in us, and the thoughts create action in us. So we are threefold bound by our nature, by our thoughts, and by our actions. We are bound. So he says, these bound by your nature, you will choicelessly, helplessly act. And we've seen that, right? Sometimes in our everyday world also, we are able to step away from a situation, but it doesn't let go within. It keeps bothering us, not able to sleep, keeps lingering with us. That's what Bhagavan says for Arjuna too. Today you might run away from this battlefield because you have a deluded sense, mohat, a deluded sense of maybe this is not dharma. I'm a righteous person. I do not fight my guru. So a wrong sense of identification, a deluded sense of what is dharma and adharma. Based on this, you may step away from it today, but then later you'll be boiling within, you'll be seething, because this is ranked injustice and it is in your nature. You are a warrior prince. It's your nature to protect and serve dharma. So it'll come back to us. It'll whip us up into action and bring us back into this situation and again. We may run from this war today, take some time to calm down, but we'll come back to fight because that dharma, that swabhava in us will impel us to do it. So then what's the best way? So this completes the verse. We'll read it one more time to just make sure we've understood all the padas. Swabhavajena Kaunteya. O Kaunteya, born of your own nature, you are bound. Nibaddha Svena Karmana. Our own karmas created our nature. Our nature binds us, impels us to act, and this action again creates the Swabhava. So this cycle we are bound in. Kartum nechasi yanmohat, because of some delusion, if we choose not to act, you will still choicelessly, hopelessly be impelled to act, if not today, in some other situation. So this is what is Bhagwan's message in this verse. Some reflections, right? So then what do we do? And how, if I am continuously impelled to act by my nature, what is my choice? Are again here the summary will come into place, right? We have to act. I have to act. But what action do I do? I have to do my duty. That presents itself. There's a calling from within that this is my duty. So we perform our duty. And then we perform it with the right attitude. Once we perform it with the right attitude, we get this chitta shuddhi. And once we get chitta shuddhi, meaning rajas and tamas is going down, sattva is being replaced. That's how we evolve. And once we evolve, once this sattva is comes up, we are then more freer to actually have a more calm mind, to reflect, to contemplate and break this cycle. This is the only way out. One more thought. When we give up an action that stands in front of us, which we feel is our duty, there are two ways we do it, right? One, this is too hard to do. This is very difficult, or this is not pleasant. That kind of running away from a duty or giving up is Rajasika Tyaga. That was the starting of this chapter where Arjuna asks Bhagwan, tell me the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. Giving up like that is Rajasika Tyaga. And the other way where we say, it's not even my duty. This is adharma. I'm not doing it. Completely deluded thought process. That is Tamasika Tyaga. Both of these tyagas are not going to help us. It will not bear the fruit of a tyaga. So the only way to do it right is to act with the karma yoga bhava, act offering it unto the Lord as worship, and through that action change our swabhava to be more and more and more sattvic. One more time, Swamiji's favorite line. Karma is the crucible in which the mind gets purified. In that 1 year of the sadhaka course, I probably heard this 100 times. Action is the crucible in which the mind gets purified. Act we must. So what's our responsibility? Choose our actions in accordance with our swabhava and do it with the right attitude. It will help us evolve. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I had to share for today. A reflection. Moving on to reflection. Um, Let us think about some action that we normally give up, some duty that we normally procrastinate or push aside as a rajasic or a tamasic, due to a rajasic or a tamasic tyaga. So basically, think about it and then we'll make a sankalpa that we will do this one duty, however unpleasant, we will do it with the right attitude as an offering, as a worship unto the Lord. We'll try this one action and see if it helps us feel better. Maybe gives us a little bit of peace of mind. Yeah. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.